All right, hey there, folks. Last little bit, we're going to bust this all out right now. This might be a bit of a longer video, just simply to get everything kind of taken care of right now. I will announce in class whether or not I want you to watch the entire video in one setting, or if I'm going to let you break this up. That's going to be up to you, or up to me, and I'll announce that to you in class. So, economics in government. First thing you need to understand is the government is responsible for the economy of a country. Countries don't just run randomly without anyone in charge doing anything. That's simply not possible. So if a country is going to exist, the people and the early government, have to be the ones who are responsible for that government and getting that run. And they're going to be able to determine a number of different things, such as number one, the level of taxation. So how much do you actually tax the people living in your country? Do I have a low level of taxation, like maybe 2 to 3%, or do I have a very high level of taxation, like 50, 60%? If I'm taxing people 50, 60%, I'm bringing in a lot more money to my country. However, there's a lot of other factors that might influence there, like people are not going to buy stuff, which might actually cause me to lose money, or they get angry, and that can cause to a number of problems as well. Budgets, the government has to decide where the government is going to be spending money. So am I going to put money into rebuilding roads, or am I going to put money into the public school system? That's something the government's got to determine. Money supply, so how much money is out and about floating around. If I go and I print a bunch of 20 BD bills, all of a sudden there's a lot more out there, so the one I have before is suddenly not as important. I got to determine how much money to put out, and then interest rates. So if you're going to send a loan, how much money is going to be returned back to you in order for giving that. These four things combined are known as the economic policy. So in class, when I ask you what four factors determine economic policy, you're going to be able to tell me levels of taxation, budgets, money supply, and the interest rate. So some terms to know. I'm going to pop a bunch up on the screen right here. My recommendation is as they come up, pause the video, write down these definitions, and then resume the video because they're important. You're going to need to know these for the test, okay? The first thing right here is tax rates. Additionally, we'll say you can kind of simplify this and make it a little bit shorter. I found these kind of long definitions because they explain a lot very well for you. You can read these on the screen, but big thing to understand about the tax rate is simply how much it's the rate of taxation. Okay, so what is the percentage you're going to be taxing when you go about on this one? So make sure you understand that. Right here it explains a little bit more about the tax rate. Okay, the interest rate is a controlled variable, which is going to be used in monetary policy. That's very important. Right here it says how we can reduce investment and also dampen consumption, exports and stuff with exchange rates as a result of the interest rate. So interest rate is very important. We'll explain this a little bit more in class to realize what the interest rate is. Next, social spending. This is money that can take form spent in a number of different things. Okay, you can read. I'm not going to spend my time here reading this to you, but you can see that information right there in front of you. Structural reform. Again, you can see that right there. Pause the video. Make sure you get the important stuff off of there. Ask me down below in the comment section or in class any questions you might have relating to that. Okay, terms to know as well is GDP. Okay, GDP is important. It stands for gross domestic product. And this is simply the monetary value of all goods and services produced in the country. So you take every single good, every single Apple, all the way up to the TVs and the cars that are produced in that country, how much they have in monetary value. You're going to add that all up and then all the services. So if you go get a ride in a taxi, how much you paid for that taxi ride, what is that value? You're going to total that all up, and that's going to be the GDP, the gross domestic product of that individual country. Now, finally, we're going to talk about stocks. Okay, stocks are important. They're going to be shares of a company that are going to be purchased by individuals. And the reason they do this is simply to raise money. And I'll go into a little bit more detail in just a second. But what's going to happen is you're going to receive dividends in return. And a dividend in return is simply a percentage of the profits for a company. So, for example, if you're going to have a large company, okay, let's call it Larson Incorporated. Larson Incorporated is this huge, large corporation, and I need to make some money. I, as the individual founder and owner of this company, the CEO, I'm going to control 100% of the company right now. However, I can't get any more money coming in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take maybe 30 or 40% of my company and split it apart in these individual things called stocks. I'm going to set it to the stock market where individual consumers can purchase stock of my company, so a percentage of that company. Whenever Larson Incorporated makes money, they're going to receive a percentage of that based upon their stocks. Okay, and what you can go and sell stocks, or buy stocks, sell stocks, all these different things. Go away, Java update. I don't care about you. There we go. Okay, and that's going to be what stocks are. Again, It's just simply as a way of raising money. If your stock price is very high, the company is doing very well. If the stock price is very low, the company is not doing quite as well. Profits simply are the revenue minus the cost. So for an example of this, an iPhone is going to be sold for maybe 350 BD. It's going to cost 250 BD to make. So right there, the revenue is 350 BD right there, but the cost is going to be 250 BD. So it costs 250 to make it. You're going to sell it for 350, meaning your profit is going to be 100 BD. That's going to get profits, all working together in stocks, allowing companies to make some money. Stock markets are incredibly risky. The company can lose a lot of money. If no one's buying stock anymore, because they have no value, they're not making any money, they could easily fall under and go bankrupt. The company's doing well, though. The price of the stock is going to go up very, very high. So like just recently, Apple announced they were going to have lower profits coming in as a result of some stuff going on with the United States and China. Because of that, Apple stock dropped very, very quickly, and Apple was not worth as much money. Now, give it a couple weeks, months, years, possibly that Apple stock could be up high once again. But if the company is doing well, prices of the stock are going to go up and vice versa right through there. If you want to make money in the stock market, you should buy when a company is low and sell when it is high. So you're going to buy the stock for maybe 3 BD or something, and you're going to sell it when people want it for 9 BD, because that's going to allow you to make 6 BD in profit. Okay, that's how you want to be doing that. Don't buy when it's high and sell when it's low. You're going to not have money for very long. Important question though with the stock market is, can you predict what will happen? Can you predict if a company is going to do better? Yes or no, okay? That's gonna be the discussion we will have in class tomorrow to start off with the bell work. Comment down below with any questions you might have, send me an email. Otherwise, good luck.